it's not just about the weight, it's also about the footprint. This new Sigma lens offers a 30 to 35 mm more range, or roughly 40% more reach, compared to conventional 24 to 70 or 28 to 70 mm f2.8 zoom lenses. Introducing the Sigma 28 to 105mm F2.8 DG DN art lens. So how does it perform? And does the additional reach justifies the extra bulk compared to those standard zoom lenses? We'll explore these questions in this in-depth review. Magnesium and thermally stable composite construction and premium build quality. Available in E and L mounts. 82 mm filter diameter. It features a declickable aperture control ring, 2 AFL buttons in addition to the AF/MF, and a zoom lock switch to keep the zoom ring secure. A smoothly dampened focus ring with a focus throw ranging from 40 cm to infinity, sealed to resist dust and splashes. Coated to repel water and oil. A paddle-shaped hood with locking mechanism is provided for secure attachment. 12-blade circular diaphragm, part of the ultimate Sigma art line. Conventional zoom lenses either don't extend to 105 mm, and those that do typically don't maintain a constant f2.8 aperture, usually narrowing down to f4 at the longer focal length. Canon changed that game by introducing the RF 24 to 105 mm lens with a constant f2.8 aperture in 2023. Following suit, Sigma now offers E-mount and L-mount users a comparable option with its 28 to 105 mm f2.8 lens, providing a more budget-friendly alternative. The extra 35 mm of zoom beyond 70 mm makes a notable impact, particularly for wedding and event shooters. Alright, let's jump into image quality and a thorough analysis. The sharpness on a 33 megapixel full-frame sensor, wide open at 28 mm, is outstanding in the center of the image. However, the corners exhibit a slight reduction in resolution, which improves at f4 and f5.6, while softness begins to set in beyond f11 due to diffraction. When zooming into 50 mm, the center retains its sharpness, though there is slight loss of resolution at the edges. At 105 mm, the image becomes noticeably softer. Yet stopping down to f4 provides a substantial increase in sharpness, while the corners remain softer compared to wider zoom settings. The lens relies heavily on software or in-camera corrections. Without these adjustments, noticeable barrel distortion appears at 28 mm. Which straightens out by about 42 mm and then shifts to pincushion distortion at 105 mm. Additionally, at f2.8, there is a pronounced vignetting in the corners throughout the entire zoom range, particularly at 28 mm, which improves by f5.6. Currently, there is no lens profile available for Lightroom. In the meantime, the following values can be used to correct the distortion. When pointed directly at a light source, there is a minimal amount of flaring at 28 mm, and contrast remains good. Zooming in introduces a bit more flaring and glaring, but is still well controlled, making for a solid performance overall. Additionally, the rear 12-blade diaphragm works its magic, producing beautiful sun stars. Longitudinal chromatic aberration is noticeable at f2.8, with hints of magenta fringing in the foreground and green fringing in the background. This effect diminishes as you stop down. Lateral chromatic aberration, on the other hand, is well controlled and does not present any significant issues. This lens creates a good amount of blurred backgrounds with a moderately smooth bokeh effect. At the wider end, the bokeh is quite okay, but as you zoom in, you may notice onion ringing, strange textures, and outlining in the autofocus areas. Additionally, a cat's eye or bokeh vignetting effect can be observed at wider apertures, gradually improving as you stop down. The 12-blade rounded diaphragm maintains a circular shape even when stopped down from its maximum aperture. Overall, the bokeh performance is average. The lens can focus as close as 40 cm with a maximum magnification ratio of 1 to 3.1 at 105mm. It appears very soft in the center and performs poorly in the corners, which do not improve when stopped down. However, at the wider end, the lens is nice and sharp. The lens features high-speed autofocus powered by high-response linear actuator motor. Sigma's 2024 lineup has consistently impressed with its autofocus capabilities, and this lens is no different. Its autofocus is exceptionally fast and dependable. Great news, at 28mm focus breathing is minimal, and at 105mm it is virtually non-existent. This is truly impressive for video shooters. Unfortunately, this lens is not parfocal. I switched to manual focus and set the focus at 28mm, but as I zoomed in, the focus was lost. Honestly, I didn't expect this chunky lens to balance on my compact VBLS gimbal. To my surprise, it balanced and functioned well, though I did have to remove the viewfinder eye cup. I set the zoom to approximately 40mm and it performed quite well during the tests. The Sigma 28-105mm F2.8 DG DN Art is an attractive choice for shooters looking for extra telephoto reach, similar to lenses like 24-105mm f4, but with the added benefit of an f2.8 aperture for enhanced background blur and an additional stop of light. It features high-quality construction, fast autofocus, youthful macro capabilities, minimal focus breathing, and delivers punchy images. The main drawbacks are its somewhat nervous bokeh and larger size. The lens offers versatility for both hobbyists who prefer longer focal lengths and professionals covering weddings or events. However, I think the Sigma 24-70mm f2.8 DN2 model still comes out ahead due to its wider angle, more compact design, and lower price. Personally, I find the extra 4mm on the wide end more valuable than the additional 35mm on the long end, as the 24mm perspective offers a broader, more impactful field of view. That said, producing a constant f2.8 lens with this kind of range is quite challenging, and I believe Sigma has done an excellent job. I would confidently recommend this lens to any shooter seeking this level of reach for E or L mount systems, as there are currently no alternatives available in these systems.